Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 6 English lesson, and we'll be doing it on subject verb agreement. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts, grade, we're doing grade 6, and then the lessons that we are going to be focusing on, or not the lessons yet, but we're doing grade 6. Then we're going to scroll down up until we get to subject verb agreement. So, subject verb agreement. So, our chapter is subject verb agreement. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 6. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of subject verb agreement. And it is to use the correct subject or verb, and it is to use the correct verb with compound subject. All right, so when it comes to our subject, verb, and agreement, right? Our subject, right? It tells us who or what we are talking about or what the conversation is about. And our subject, right, needs to agree with our verb. So the subject which tells you the person, animal, the thing that you're discussing or making mention of, it needs to agree with the verb, meaning that the action that is taking place. So that needs to agree with one another. So once again, the subject, which tells us either the person, animal, place, or thing that is doing something, needs to agree with the verb, which is the action that tells us what the person, animal, or thing is doing. And when it comes to our subjects, right, we have singular subjects and we have plural subjects, right? Singular subjects, it names one person, so it names only one person, only one animal, place, or thing. That is a singular subject. It names only one person, only one place, only one animal, or only one thing. And when a subject is singular, then it means that we need to use a singular verb. That is why we say that a subject needs to agree with the verb, because once we use a singular subject, right, then it means that we need to use a singular verb and they basically need to be in agreement with one another. And when it comes to singular verbs, right, singular verbs that needs to agree with a singular subject that makes mention of one person, one animal, one place, or one thing. A singular verb, it ends with s, es, or ies. And if we look at an example, right, of a singular verb, or let's say a singular subject with a singular verb, right? If we look at that sentence, and then it says, Sarah, so Sarah is one person, right? So I'm going to underline Sarah. Sarah, it's one person, that is the subject, visits her grandmother. The action that Sarah does is visit, right? But since she's one person, remember we said that a singular verb, it ends either in s, es, or ies. So Sarah visits, and it ends with an s, her grandmother. So if we make mention of one person doing something, our verb ends either with an s, it either ends with es, or it ends with ies. And if we look at another example, right? Sorry. Another example of a singular subject with a singular verb says, my cat, referring to one cat, which is my cat. Because remember, we didn't say my cats, we only said my cat, which means that we are making mention of one cat. So my cat washes. What is the pig doing? Washes her paws. So the one animal, my cat, the action or the verb that the one cat, the singular cat, is doing is washes. So we don't say my cat wash, but we say my cat washes her paws. And that is a singular subject with a singular verb. And remember, we said a singular verb, it ends with an S, it ends with ES, or it can end with IES. All right. If we look at the plural subject, so that is a singular subject first, right? And remember, we said a singular subject needs to agree with a singular verb, and a singular verb ends with an S, ES, or IES. Now we're going on to a plural subject. And a plural subject, it names more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing. And when a subject is plural, meaning it refers to more than one person, more than one animal, place, or thing, it's two or more people, two or more animals, two or more places or things, then we use a plural verb. Meaning that this plural verb, it does not end with S, it doesn't end with ES, and it doesn't end with IAS. So let's say, for example, like Sarah visits, it ends with an S, or my cat washes, it ends with an ES. But if we say two people does the same thing, then we're only going to say visit or wash. For example, Kyle and Jesse. Here we have two people, Kyle and Jesse. This is plural because it's two people. So Kyle and Jesse, the action that they do, we can say they walk. So can you see, we don't say they walks home because it's two people doing something. So we say they walk home. We don't add an S, we don't add an ES, or we don't add an IES because it is a plural subject. And a plural subject needs to agree with a plural verb. And if we look at another example, right? Another example of a plural subject with a plural verb, it says the flowers, more than one. So the flowers, we're making mention of more than one flower. So the flowers grow. So as you can see, we don't say the flower grows. We only say the flowers grow in the garden because if more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing does an action, we do not add an S, we do not add an ES, or we do not add an IES. Right? So let us go to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to find out more about how to use subjects and verbs, and then we go to our test. So the first lesson is to use the correct subject or to use the correct verb. And we went over that a subject and a verb needs to agree with one another. Singular subjects refers to one person, one animal, one place, or one thing. And when a subject is singular, we use a singular verb and it ends with an S, ES, or IES. And a plural subject, which makes mention of two or more people, two or more animals, places, or things. And when it's a plural, we use a plural verb, which means that we do not add an S, ES, or IES. Our word do not end with S, ES, or IES. Right? So now, if we look at, we're not going to look at the base verb or look for the base verb to complete our sentence. It says the girl, one girl, in the first row. Do we say blush or do we say blushes at the invitation to come on stage? So do we say the girl in the first row, the girl, one girl? Do we say she blush at the invitation to come on stage or she blushes? What do you think is the correct answer? our correct verb that agrees with our subject. So the girl, do we say blushes because it's one girl, or do we say the girl blush? Think of when you use a singular subject with a singular verb. All right, and yes, if we were to choose the correct one, because it's one girl, we said it ends with an es, so we can say the girl blushes. Beautiful. So blushes is correct. So the girl blushes at the invitation to come on stage. So well done. Blushes is correct. All right, so well done. Let's look at another example. It says the shop owner, one shop owner. So do we say the shop owner apologizes, or do we say the shop owner apologize to any customer waiting in a long queue? So apologizes or just apologize to any customer waiting in the long queue. Which one is correct? The shop owner apologize or apologizes? Shop owner is one person. So which one do you think is correct? It's one person, one shop owner. That do we say he apologizes or he apologize? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, right? And then we can say that the shop owner apologizes, ending with an S. So we say apologizes because it's one shop owner. It's a subject, the subject is singular. All right, so let us go to our test, right? We are now going to use the correct subject or verb. Remember, if we are making mention of one person doing something, our verb ends with an S, ends with an ES, or IES. That is if one person, one animal, one place, or one thing does an action. If it's more than one person, animal, place, or thing doing an action, our verb does not end with an S. es or ies, right? All right, let's go on to the next one. It says we need to complete the sentence with the best subject. So we need to choose the best subject to complete the sentence. Do we say, sorry, do we say the three clerks apologizes to any customers waiting in line? Or do we say the shop owner apologizes to any customer waiting in the long queue? So option one, the three clerks, or option two, the shop owner. So which one is correct? Who apologizes? Option one, the three clerks, or option two, the shop owner apologizes. So which one is correct? Option one or option two? All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, either option one, the three clerks, or option two, the shop owner, then we can say yes, option two. Because remember, option two is one shop owner apologizes. So well done. Option two is correct. One shop owner apologizes. So one shop owner, and our verb ends with an S or ES. Well done. The cactus, one cactus. Do we say grows or grow? Taller and taller, reaching towards the sky. So the cactus, one cactus. Do we say option one, it grows, or option two, it grow? Taller and taller, reaching towards the sky. So option one, grows, or option two, grow? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, because it's one cactus, right? One cactus, so we say it grows taller and taller, reaching towards the sky. So well done. Grows is correct. All right, the next one says As we watch, we refers to more than one person. As we watch, do we say the children or the child? So as we watch, the children marches into the kitchen and straight to the cookie tin. So do we say the children marches or the child marches into the kitchen and straight to the cookie tin? So the children marches or the child marches into the kitchen and straight to the cookie tin. Which one is correct? So we need to say which one is correct. As we watch, do we say the children marches or do we say the child marches into the kitchen and straight to the cookie tin? Remember, look at marches. Look at marches, right? It is an action that somebody's doing, right? Marches ends with an ES. Did we say a singular subject or a plural subject ends with an ES? This is a plural subject. This is a singular subject. So we will say the child marches. One person, one animal, one place, or one thing, right? That is the subject, that is a singular subject. And the verb that agrees with the singular subject ends with an S, ES, or IES. All right. The next one says the girl in the front row. One girl in the front row. Do we say she blush at the invitation to come on stage or she blushes at the invitation to come on stage? The girl, it is one girl, singular girl. Do we say she blush option one or blushes option two? The girl in the front row, one girl, singular girl. Do we say she blush or do we say she blushes? Option one, blush, or option two, blushes. Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, we will say the girl in the front row blushes. Remember, guys, that if we have a singular subject refers to one person, one place, one animal, or one thing. And our singular subject needs to agree with our singular verb. And the singular verb ends with s, es, or ies. So one person, the action that they do, the verb will end with s, es, or ies. Right? Then, if we have a plural subject, which refers to more than one person, animal, place, or thing doing something, it does not end with an S, ES, or IES. So wonderful. One person blushes. So well done. Blushes is correct. All right, let's look at the next one. It says complete the sentence with the best verb. It says during the game, the children, more than one person, plural subject, more than one person, plural subject. So the children, do we say the children hide, option one, or do we say the children hides, option two, behind the thick velvet curtains while I count to 10? Plural subject, the children. Do we say the children hide, option one, or do we say the children hides, option two, behind the thick velvet curtains while I count to 10? So option one, the children hide, or do we say the children hides? Which one is correct? Hide or hides? Should I choose option two? It says the children, More than one person. Yes, so children is more than one. But remember how verb, what did we say? Does the verb end with s, es, or is? Or did we say the verb does not end with s, es, or is? That is that is basically the rule. So when we talk about more than one, do we say it ends with an S, for example, like hides, or it does not end with an S, like hide? What did we say? Okay, so I'm going to choose option two for you guys, all right? So the children, I'm going to choose option two, hides. Guys, remember I said if our subject, which is, for example, the children, is plural, it refers to more than one person, more than one place, more than one animal, or more than one thing. Then it needs to agree with our plural verb, right? And our plural verb, it does not end with an S. It does not end with an ES. Or it does not end with an IES. If we make mention of one person, one animal, one place, or one thing doing an action, then it ends with an S, ES, or IES. Do we understand? Let's try this one again. All right, we're going to try this one again. It says, after dinner, all of us makes mention of more than one person, right? So after dinner, all of us, do we say huddles? Option one, huddles, ending with an S, or huddle, option two, with no S, by the fire, and Nolan sings folk songs. So which one is correct? After dinner, all of us making mention of more than one person. Do we say option one, huddles, or option two, huddle? Which one is correct? By the fire. After dinner, all of us huddles or huddle by the fire, and Nolan sings folk songs. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, option two, because more than one person huddle without the S by the fire. So well done. Option two is correct. Well done. Let's do the next one. Both of us. Both of us makes mention of more than one person. It's two people. Because it's both of us. Two people. Do we say both of us play the banjo? Or do we say both of us plays the banjo? Which one is correct? Both of us play the banjo, option one, but Abby also plays the flute. Or do we say both of us, plural, plays the banjo? Which one is correct? Sorry. So both of us, do we say play or both of us plays the banjo? But Abby also plays the flute. Remember, both of us makes mention of more than one person. Do we say play or plays? And if we were to choose the correct option, we will say both of us, making mention of more than one person, plural, play the banjo, but Abby also plays the flute. So well done. Option one is correct. All right, guys. In our next lesson, we will go on to using the correct verb with compound subject. This is the end of our lesson on subject verb agreement. I hope that you have an idea of what or of how to use the correct subject or verb. Guys, if you do not know, please let me know. Right? In our next lesson, we will go over using the correct subject or verb again before we go on to with compound subjects. Right? So we said that your subject needs to agree with your verb. We have a singular subject, right? That refers to one person, one animal, one place, or one thing needs to agree with a singular verb. And a singular verb ends with an S, ES, or IES. And then we have a plural subject which makes mention of more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing, and needs to agree with the plural verb, which does not end with an S, ES, or IES, right? So I really hope that you do have an understanding or better understanding of what subject or verb or subject verb agreement is. If not, please let me know. But till next time, you must have a good day further. Right? Goodbye.